Alright guys, hi, welcome to the Two Dogs Podcast. I'm Dr. Ingky.
I'm Dr. Ellie here.
Alright, so welcome to the podcast whereby we discuss a lot of non-medical stuff.
Yes,
right?
a lot of it just by our own research.
Yeah, and wait.
What?
Yeah, so the topic for today is 3-second rule. So that was 3 seconds, right? So, you saw that, right?
I nearly cursed at you.
Yeah. So when Ellie told me, hey, we'll be discussing about 3-second rule today, right? So the first thing that came to my mind, right, was the rule that I tell my kids, hey, as long as you drop on the table, right, less than 3 seconds, you can pick it up and eat. Because, the bacteria won't have time to crawl on top of your food.
I'm sure you've heard of it. The 3-second food rule.
Yeah.
Not just on the table, even on the floor. Some people pick it up and eat.
Exactly.
Now, does that work?
I have no idea, but
do you practice it?
I don't care. As long as the surface is clean enough, just pick it up and eat.
Yeah. As long as the surface is clean, always remember that. Because if it drops on SHIT, right, you don't need 3 seconds.
Yeah. That's right. But today's rule or 3-second rule is not about that.
Yeah.
And what is it about?
Today's rule or 3-second rule, and there are so many 3-second rule. But today's 3-second rule, we're going to talk about the 3-second rule to persuasion, to being more persuasive. Being more persuasive. Heard of that?
No. Never heard of it.
It was just coincidental. I was just doing some research on how to be more persuasive, and then I came across this article that says the 3-second rule of being more persuasive. Now, to be persuasive, a lot of times most people will think you need what? Charisma?
You need charisma. You need to know how to talk.
You need to be confident.
Yeah, you need to be confident. Yes, that's
then
right.
You need to be almost like be able to answer everything.
That is true.
Right? However, this one states that to be more persuasive in a conversation, you take 3 seconds to say nothing.
To pause. Okay. Why is that then?
Well, now that I've done my 3-second rule.
No, I'm going to ask the video group to cut this one. 1 second.
Well, as you can see, you were more attentive to me when I give you that 3 seconds.
That is true.
And suddenly now whatever I want to say, you're actually paying attention. Most of the time, when people start talking, it's a lot of I talk, you listen. Then after that, you want to butt in.
Yes.
And I have to listen. It's not that I'm going to listen, but I have to listen because apparently now at this certain slight pause, your voice was louder than mine. So there's a lot of talking with not much of listening. However, if you want to be persuasive, someone needs to listen to you.
Yes.
When someone listens to your point, it registers much better.
Okay.
So hence the 3-second rule. Think about it.
Yeah. So in what situation that this 3-second rule can be used or enforced?
Unknowingly, I've used it before. Unknowingly, I've used it before. And the first instance that I could remember using this 3-second rule was when I was giving a speech as a best man for my friend's wedding. Now, weddings are one big commotion. Everyone's talking because everyone's meeting together for the first time. And then the best man is not the first person who speaks. There's always the father, then the father, or maybe both sides, whatever, or the host. Then only comes the, I think best man before the groom or the groom then best man?
I think best man
before
first,
the groom.
then the groom comes
so
last.
So we are almost second last. There's best friend, then there's best man or whatever. So at this particular wedding, my friend's father went on stage and he just couldn't get a word in.
Okay.
Because everyone's just busy talking.
All right.
It came to the point, he actually had to say, hello everyone, can you just be quiet a while and let me talk, let me finish my speech. I mean, I felt sorry for him. But everyone was just busy talking. And when I went on stage, with our booming voice that Ingky and I has, I just went, hello. And I just paused for 3 seconds.
Okay.
The whole hall just went silent. Silent, like pin drop silent. Then I can say whatever I want. My joke seemed funny even though it was very lame.
Yeah, so what happens is this. So there's a very famous saying, silence is deafening.
Oh, yeah.
All right? Silence is deafening.
But that usually works when you're arguing with your wife.
No, it doesn't really matter.
Oh, really?
So when silence is deafening is because human beings, as you mentioned, when we talk, and then the next person wants to talk again, we find silence very uncomfortable. Human beings find silence very uncomfortable. And because when we find silence uncomfortable and when someone takes center stage,
Yep.
and the person is not talking,
Yep.
everyone's like, what's wrong with this person? Why is he not talking? And then what happens is
They
all
feel-
attention is all on that person, on you, right? In that sense, all attention was on you. Because they must be wondering, what's this guy doing up there and
Not
not
talking.
saying anything? He's just standing on the stage and not saying anything, holding the mic. So hence, all the attention is on you. Yep. When I did a public speaking course, the first thing they mention is when you get on the stage, never talk. Don't
Huh?
talk first.
That's what they say.
Yeah, they say when you get on stage, you stand there. Don't start with "Hi, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, welcome." No, nothing. Stand in the middle of stage. All right, stand there. Just
Okay.
watch the crowd. And what happens is the crowd will then watch you back. All right, the crowd will then wait for you to see what you're going to say. So don't start with anything. Just stand on stage, be quiet. All right, and then they will pay attention to you.
And that actually works very well.
That works very well.
Public speaking, very important tip.
Yes.
What Ingky has just shared. If you're going on stage and you're damn nervous, just be quiet first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So 3 seconds. Right. That's the 3 second rule. Right?
That's a 3-second rule.
Yeah. So if you watch stand-up comedians, they tend to pause a lot
Yes.
in between their jokes.
Yes.
They tell you a
The whole
joke.
series finish,
stop.
then you stop. And then they walk around.
Yes.
They walk around, and sometimes they just go, sheesh.
Yes.
Yeah. But there's no words.
Yes.
It's his pause.
Yes. So
To-
generally, a lot of times they pause for a few reasons. Number one is to tell you the joke has ended, and
Yeah.
then for you to laugh. And secondly, also to catch your attention because
The next one's coming up.
yes, because the next joke is coming up. And sometimes in all these comedy clubs, people tend to talk, among one another. And there's a lot of whispering in
Yep.
the back. And sometimes when you're on stage, right, and there's people talking in the back, right, you feel a little bit irritated. Hey, you're not paying attention to me. So they pause.
That's true. That's
They
true.
pause.
That's true.
All right. So what other situations can the pause be used?
Well, other situation of pause and being used. I use this on my kids. Yeah. Really. So they do something wrong, and I just ask them. Instead of most of the time people expect if the kid did something wrong and the parents going to come in guns blazing, getting all angry or telling them what they did wrong. I'll just go in and just stare at them for 3 seconds. They'll stare back at me for 3 seconds. Maybe a bit longer lah. But basically it's just that stare.
Yeah.
And as what Ingky says, silence is deafening. Because in their mind it's that oh shit moment.
Yes. I mean, I'm certain, right? Both of us are married, So sometimes when you get home after late night, and your wife just looks at you, no words said, and you're like, damn.
Why are you
I
still
screwed
waiting?
up. I screwed up.
What did I do wrong?
What did I do wrong? I screwed up. Yes. So silence. Yeah.
Silence.
3 seconds.
3 seconds, maybe more, but the 3-second rule is generally when you're in rapid fire, it's all you need. That pause is enough to actually stop. And although this topic is about being convincing, but in our situation, when we mention all this, it basically just means whatever they're going to say, we're going to be paying attention.
Yeah. And long time ago, when I was in university, all right, we used to have vivas. It means that oral
Yes, oral exams.
Oral exams. So one of the tips that was given by one of the professors was, of course, number one, whatever question asked you, repeat it back to them. All right,
yes.
repeat it back to them because it buys you time.
Yes.
All right, and it allows you to understand the question more. But secondly is, after you have repeated to them, you pause, you wait, you let the question process, and then only you answer. All right, and if you can do that, most of the time you have more time to process the answer, and you can seem more convincing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Plus, you probably won't rapid fire and speak too fast.
Yes.
Because you actually had time to process. The
Yes.
problem with the way we think is the speed of movement is faster than the speed of thought.
Yeah. It does happen a lot
It happens
of times.
when you're nervous, right? You will
Especially
speak
nervous.
when you're
Especially when
nervous. You will speak faster than you can think.
Yeah.
And to catch up, the paradox is you don't even pause. You continue talking more,
Yes. The more you
waiting for the thoughts to
waiting for
catch
them
up.
to come. Okay.
But the amount that you talk after that is all pure nonsense.
Yes,
it's all
that's true.
fillers,
That is true.
which will then make you appear not convincing,
Yes.
borderline stupid.
That's true.
So pausing gives time for the thought to catch up, for you to slow down, And when you speak, it's much better. Just look at politicians. The one that speaks firm and steady pace is always more convincing than one that just blabs non-stop and starts, shouting. Maybe some people like the theatrics of shouting, but the ones that throws the best arguments or seem to throw the best arguments is always the one that takes their time. Steady all the way. Now, any other situation that you've used on?
Yeah, sometimes when you are talking to someone and you're trying to convince them to listen to your idea, sometimes the best thing is when they ask, or when you're having a conversation with them, when during the conversation, instead of answering back immediately, you pause. You pause, right? You pause and then only you reply.
Okay.
It means that you are listening to what they're saying,
Yes.
and you've given it thought.
Yes.
You've given it thought. All right, rather than just when let's say like you want to close a sale.
Yeah.
All right, and the person is just saying a lot of stuff, and he wants you to promise. He wants or he or she wants certain things out of the sale. Instead of just saying yes immediately and all, you pause. All right, pausing gives you that that seriousness, as if you're actually thinking of the entire offer. Then only you answer, and it actually seems a little bit more, I would say, more persuasive.
More persuasive.
Yeah,
definitely more persuasive.
It's definitely more persuasive.
Yeah, because if you answer too fast, people say, "Oh, that was fast.
Yeah.
I could ask for more." But if you took time to answer me, then like, okay, it took some time for you to process. Maybe it was a bit hard for you to give me this deal that I want.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah, but sometimes pausing also works for you, because maybe the other party is a little bit nervous. So let's say they have come out with an offer, and you just stare at him and you pause. He might actually just go back and revise the offer on the spot.
Because he feels like,
oh,
maybe I I fired a blank.
Yeah.
A lot of people fire blanks.
Yes.
When it comes to sales, right, always remember people fire blanks first. Tembak, as people say, like, tembak only, shoot only, and we just fire blanks and see whether it hits. So when you pause, it makes them feel that you're saying to them in a non-verbal, "Are you ridiculous?" Then they will counter the offer immediately.
Yeah, they will counter the offer immediately without you even saying a single word. They will come back with a better offer.
Another tip, because some of our listeners are from the early career group, during an interview,
Yes.
a 3-second pause, a 3-second rule. The pause is also very important when you are attending interviews. Don't jump in answering the question. Always, as what Ingky says, give a thought, or appear to give a thought, even if you know the answer.
Yes.
Even if the answer is all outright. Answering it immediately does not always make you seem like you're confident.
And it doesn't make you seem like you actually know your stuff. A lot of people think that just because you answer immediately, it makes you seem like you actually know your stuff. Actually, by pausing and giving a thought, or even if you really know the answer, you pretend to give it a thought.
Yes.
And then you answer.
Yeah. These are tiny tricks. It's body language.
Yes, body language.
It's body language. So it's very interesting. There's a psychology behind this pause effect. Unfortunately, a lot of people, or more like not to say a lot of people, schools don't teach you this.
Yeah, schools don't teach you it.
They're not going to teach you this. Uni not going to teach you this.
Yeah, no one's going
You're
to
letting it here on two dogs. Right? But I think this is one of the more important lessons to learn with the 3-second rule, or the 3-second pause. You will find that you can apply it in many, many different situations in your favor.
Yes,
in your
definitely.
favor. If nothing, it will at least make yourself feel more calm rather than appear very rushed.
That is true.
Now, any other 3-second rules,
No, actually, that's the only ones I actually know. I don't know
so
anything
anyway,
else.
I just Google laterally also lah, just for the
Okay.
fun of it, because there's so many 3-second rules out
Yeah.
there, So other 3-second rules, now this is for fun. These are just filler topics, right? Other 3-second rules. 3-second rule for during driving.
Okay.
Now,
What is it?
if you're driving behind someone, although older people say 8-second rule, 5-second rule, but I think 3-second rule these days are pretty good because your car has ABS and all the technology.
Okay.
Don't drive too close. If you're too close to someone, your brake response time is slow.
Yes.
If you have a 3-second gap, A, it allows you to respond. B, your car's intelligence system also has time to respond.
Interesting.
So that's another 3-second rule.
That's interesting.
Well-
Any other 3-second rule?
Well, we've got your foot 3-second rule.
The foot 3-second rules.
There's another one. 3-second rule on talking to people, initiating conversation.
Okay.
Now, apparently, when you this happens to people who are more in the social life. You know, you go out, you see someone interesting, and you want to talk to them. How often do you actually successfully go up and talk to someone?
Very rare, actually.
Very rare, right?
Yeah.
Because you're there thinking, what if they don't want to talk to me?
Yes, that's
What
true.
if I freeze? What if no, it doesn't happen. What if I'm out of their league?
Okay.
So by the time you finish 3 seconds or 5 seconds, right, you don't do it anymore. Because your brain says the fire is not there anymore. If you want to talk to someone, get your ass up, walk over there in 3 seconds and start talking to someone. Hi.
Okay.
Initiate first. If you get rejected, who cares? Worry about that later.
Interesting.
But that's not a very interesting thing. When I thought about it, when I read it and I thought about it, and I said, actually, that's true. The times whereby I successfully spoke to anyone, whether it's in a meeting or meeting someone, or you see someone, let's say in a networking arena, and you want to talk to them, but you contemplate too long, you will miss that chance.
Okay.
Give yourself 3 seconds. It's do or don't do.
Okay, interesting.
Interesting, yeah? Well,
Very
3-second
nice.
rules out there.
There are a lot of 3-second rules now.
Well, of course, and then finally, there's basketball 3-second rules.
Oh, yeah, like that. 3-second rules, man?
Ha!
3-second rules. No, that's the shot clock. I have no idea what the 3-second.
No, shot clock is the other one. So 3-second rule is if, all right, my court, your court.
Yes.
So when I go to your court, I'm
Yes.
the offense.
Oh,
you are
yes,
defense.
yes,
The
yes,
offensive
yes.
team cannot be under the basket.
Under basket for more than 3 seconds. Yes,
seconds
yes,
because it's
yes.
unfair.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so-
That is right. That is right.
So that's another 3-second rule.
That is right. But that particular 3-second rule only happens in Europe, in formal basketball leagues,
Yes.
not in the NBA.
Not in NBA.
Not in the NBA. NBA, you can be under the basket for a long time. In the Euro leagues, there's a 3-second rule. You can only be under the basket for 3 seconds, and you have to get out of that particular small.
No, I think NBA
small
also
area.
has, but NBA could be 5.
Maybe the NBA is longer.
But you can't be in that penalty area
For too long, yes. True.
because it's an unfair advantage.
Yes, that's right.
Especially if everyone starts crowding inside.
That's true.
Because you just want to catch a rebound. It's very unfair. Right. So hope you guys found this session quick but yet very enlightening to help you be more persuasive, especially when you're talking to someone.
Yes.
I'm sure you found something interesting.
Yeah. So,
Okay, I've done my 3 seconds on you one more time.
same as well.
no.
So, guys, if you like this particular video or this particular content, please like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments below what other 3-second rules that you know, or what other persuasive techniques you know.
Or have you tried the 3-second rule after listening to us, and let us know your experience, whether did it work for you? Because we'd like to educate you sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes. All right, until then, we will be back next week on episode 99 on the Two Dogs Podcast. Dr. Ali signing off.
And Dr. Inky, and have a good weekend.